Hello, welcome to another episode of David Rides a Trike. I'm David, I'm riding a trike. If you'd like to skip the upcoming introduction, if you've heard it enough times, there is a link down in the description that you could click and skip the intro. This doesn't work if you're viewing on Facebook, only if you're on YouTube. I make videos trying to motivate people with chronic illnesses and disabilities to get outside, find some fun form of exercise, whether it's riding a bike, a trike, in my case, walking, whatever. Just something you can do outside that is fun, and it usually ends up providing a form of therapy, physically and sometimes also emotionally, for those who have chronic illnesses and disabilities. Personally, I fall into both the chronically ill and the disabled categories. Hang on, I gotta shift here. I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic when I was 1.5 years old. I had a pancreas transplant when I was 41 that cured me of being a diabetic. I've had 3 organ transplants total. I am legally blind. I've had stage 3 cancer, chemo. I've had radiation treatment. I've had more surgeries, infections, illnesses, hospitalizations, and maladies than I can honestly even remember. So, today I want to talk about something. I've had this new trike now, the Ice Sprint Tour X. Or is it Ice Sprint X Tour? One of those. I always get it confused. For about a month now. And the 3 big differences over my last trike are the full suspension, the roll-off speed hub, and the e-assist. And while the full suspension is great, it really does make the ride a lot nicer. And the roll-off speed hub is pretty amazing too. At some point I'll do a video about that, but it really changes shifting and how you do it and the ease with which you can shift. But the big game changer is the e-assist. And I've already done a first impressions video on the e-assist, and that's not what this is going to be about. Rather, I was going to talk about what was my, let's call it my regular ride. My regular ride used to be about 20 miles. And I would go for a longer ride, sometimes shorter, but regular ride was about 20 miles. In the last year, though, due to time constraints, because of work, a lot because, unfortunately, our dog Franny was sick, and I didn't want to leave her alone for too long and had to get home to take her out often enough. And because of partially also because of my low iron levels, 20 miles on some days was just really hard to do. I started doing a lot of what I was calling coffee rides. And the coffee rides were about a 5-mile ride to a Starbucks where I would have a coffee. Actually, I would have a Grande Americano, which was 3 shots of espresso, the rest of the glass filled with water, usually cold because I do this during the summer and the nicer weather. And I'd have that, turn around and come home. And that ride was about 10 to 11 miles. And if you were to look on my Strava feed, you'd see lots of coffee rides on there, and that's what those were. So now I get this trike with the e-assist, and all of a sudden I hit that 5 mile mark and it feels like I've barely gone around the block. So I've noticed what happens is I get to that 5 mile mark and I say, well, let's go further. Let's do 10 miles. And I would keep going and get to about the 10 mile mark and turn around then, making it a 20 mile ride for the whole thing. And that's kind of become my new easy ride, 20 miles. So 20 is the new 10. Now, a lot of people might be saying, well, you've got e-assist, so it's really not the same. It's you're comparing apples and oranges. Maybe, but the way I look at it is, hang on, coming up to the street here. The way I look at it is, this trike, bare bones, weighs about 40 pounds. Put on the bags, the fenders, all kinds of stuff, everything I'm carrying, it's up around a good 50 pounds. Whereas those of you who ride diamond frame bikes who might be criticizing me for using e-assist, your bikes probably weigh less than half of what mine does. And with 3 wheels, I also have more rolling resistance. So I don't view the e-assist as any kind of form of cheating. I don't see it being any different than people who do things to lighten their bikes. I mean, cyclists do things to shave grams off of their bikes with their derailleur, tires, wheels, etc. Or doing things to make a bike or the rider more aerodynamic. To me, the e-assist is just something like that. It's just something that does enable me to go a little faster and therefore a little further. So yeah, for me, 20 is now the new 10. And I love it. I love being able to go out and ride 20 miles. Today, right now, I'm at just coming up onto 16 miles, so I know it's going to be at least a 32 mile ride for me. So that's about it. 20 is the new 10 for me. I'll take it, and that is that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. You know, my goal here, I am not doing this to get rich. So far this has been a, money-wise, a losing proposition for me with all the cameras and related gear. So definitely not doing it for the money. I'm definitely not getting famous doing this. I'm doing it because I've been very fortunate with all the medical issues I've had in my life. I'm very lucky to still be here and to be able to go out and ride like this. And I'd like to try and give back by encouraging other people to do the same. Like I said, not necessarily riding, but get outside, do something fun. It's good for you. And by subscribing to my channel, YouTube makes sure that more people have the opportunity to see my videos. So That's the reason I'm always squawking about please subscribe. That's what it does for me. All right, that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next ride. Bye-bye.